Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends to complain about 2.2 champion changes, and for all I know, it could be tomorrow. It's going to be this week, but I do want to talk to you. I think the biggest thing is that I already did videos about how amazing I think some of the changes are. We went over quite a few legendary champions, even an epic champion, and I praised them for changing these champions. But there are a lot of champions on this list, and what it comes down to is we are so starved for content, for anything in this game, for balancing in this game, because it's been far too long since anything has happened. So we're just sitting here waiting for like years for something to happen, and then finally does, and we all get excited about it. But then after we read it and we start to, or at least me anyways, right? Because you know I love to pick apart stuff because we don't get it, guys. We don't get anything from them. It takes forever, and then when we do get it, right? It's been such a long time. When we do get this, we expect it to be something substantial. We expect there to be change. And if you're going to go in there and do something to a champion, then change that champion up. Make it pretty nice. Make it even more useful. You can always come back and nerf it later. Make it good. Make it better than your wildest dreams. But they really didn't do that with a lot of champions in here, and I'm really disappointed. So I just want to talk to you guys. And then if you look at somebody like Smash Lord, they really didn't do much to him. Like, seriously, just the obvious stuff with him. I was kind of expecting a little bit more. Gerptuck, same way. Dracomorph, who really cares? All they did is do the splash damage. We understand that. And then Drexstar Blood Twin, which we're going to go to. Like, what? So lame. And then all the rest of these, like these HP scalings and some of this stuff is interesting. You know what? We're going to start off with the Banner Lords right now. We're going to go over there and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you'll agree with me. You'll be like, Stu, you're right. You're right. It's lazy. It's lazy on their part, and we haven't had anything in about like 9 months to a year or something. It's been so long that we will take anything and praise them for it. We're just sitting there going, yes, yes, you're the best company ever. Thank you for giving us something. But let's take two people. Let's just start off with Azer. This guy right here was changed so that he's going to have a 50% turn meter reduction here if there is not a stun up. That's a good change. There's nothing wrong with that. That means that if it's not a boss, we get a chance to stun them. We get a chance to do the extra hit. We get to steal. It's actually steal 50% turn meter. I like stealing 50% turn meter. That means he's going to get a turn faster. This is on a 3-turn cooldown, which is great. He's going to get his turns faster. And then usually when we're faced off against a boss, we can't stun them anyways. So at least we could do turn meter reduction. Right now, the only one we can't do it on is the dragon and, of course, the clan boss. But still, really cool mechanic to have for a guy like this. Then we've got a shared damage here, which I think is good. I just thought it was going to go to a 3-turn cooldown like the rest. But let's say it's not, because they're giving us this ability to get an additional turn meter because we're stealing it from somebody. So they're like, okay, maybe it's going to be closer to a 3-turn cooldown. So they're giving us something special. I get it. Okay, now the biggest thing about this is, obviously we get an HP shield based off of our max HP that cannot be removed. Really cool. I like that. We're doing damage here based off of attack and HP, and then we're getting a chance to, once it's patched, to steal turn meter if they're not stunned. Also another great thing. So you would think that this ability would do damage based off of HP, but it's not. It's still doing damage based off of attack. So you come in here and, like the laziest fashion, you make this guy better. You make this guy playable to where I can be like, okay, I could play this guy. He's going to protect my allies, take half that damage. He's going to have a shield up that can't be removed. Very cool. But then you go ahead and you ruin his A1 damage. Sure, we can put up stuns. I get it. I get that. No problem. But why on earth does he have an attack and HP here, but then not just HP here to get a hard hit? Get something, right? To balance it out to where he can do something. Because, you know, this isn't crazy overpowered, this, even with the changes. It's lazy, guys. Completely lazy. So right next to him, let's go to Rowan. This one blew my mind. Like, why? I was talking about how they should have fixed her the whole entire time, and I was like so excited to have somebody we could bring in and do poisons on a dragon or on the clan boss even, and somebody that could be up to Azer standing, or even kind of like a mini Kale. And yeah, she can be like a Kale, right? Kale though has poisons on his A1, which makes him very strong, and then he has like a 40% chance to apply the 5% poison 4 targets at random on his A3. But she's got this attack one enemy 4 times. So in the revision, it's going to be 75% total. Like it reads, even with this, it's going to be up to 75. So I don't even know why they wrote it all weird. It's just worded all strange where they're talking about Rowan. And they're only giving her a 75. And then we go into the support masteries. We get Sniper, and we get another 5%. 80%. Why? Why not just make her 100% chance to apply poisons? What is that gonna break in this game? She is a void epic champion that looks still very cool. I want to play her. I love that she can do damage based off of attack and speed. We don't have a lot of champions like this. I want to see more legendary champions that can do damage based off of speed and really jack that speed up and get some damage going. And yeah, she, they revised her here with this too, but I'm not that big, we don't really, this is nice to be able to stun stuff on the way there, but here's what I want. I want the poisons. I want to be able to play her like we do Athar, like we do more so Kale, and it's not there. They went and did some minor things to her, and she's still going to be in the same place she is right now. So I don't get that. There she is. She's got a higher chance to do the heal reduction. She's got a little bit higher chance to do the stuns. And then right here it says skill upgrade now gives, and it's on a lower cooldown, which it should be. It should be down there to that lower cooldown. It gives a 10% and a 15% on the buffs, on the put books in, where we put the books in there instead of 5 and 10. So the total now is 75. Let's move on to our girl Hope here. Now, we always had a lot of hope for Hope. We were expecting her to be brought up to at least 100% chance to remove buffs on the enemy. AoE, just like we do with Madam Cirrus, right? We do that with her, except with Madam, we do a lot of debuffs with it. With this, she's doing an AoE attack. Now, this skill cooldown is going to go down to 3 turns in the update. So 3 turns for us to do AoE damage based off of attack, and we get to 75% chance to remove the buffs. Why this isn't 100% chance really blows my mind. Yes, they're increasing this to a 25% of this champion's HP on shields, and this will still be at a 4-turn cooldown. Plus, we increase the duration of all ally buffs. That's a strong one, right? Increasing the duration of all Sandlash Survivor. We've got some other ones that can do it, but here it's really nice to have. But again, we're getting 25% of this champion's HP. She does moves based on attack, and then even further, they didn't want to give us this 100% chance to remove all buffs. On a 3-turn cooldown, it could have stayed at a 4-turn cooldown as long as it removed all buffs, and I don't know why it can't remove all buffs and decreased attack or something. Do something. Decrease speed. Do something like Madam does. I understand this is doing damage, but Madam has a way better kit all around. And then this girl's going to give us a little shield and increase, and then still on a 4-turn cooldown. It's not like if this was on a 3-turn cooldown and we were really extending things over and over, and she's doing 25% of her max HP, which she's got a nice HP pool, but then again, we're not going to get any damage out of her. No damage, so this AoE isn't going to, and if we do make her a AoE damage dealer, then of course these shields aren't going to do that much. This new 25% of her max HP isn't going to do that much. So I just feel like, again, kind of lazy, right? Unless they were saying that if she does too much damage based off of attack and has HP, it's not going to be right. And I'm not even asking for that. I didn't say change her to an HP based champion. Would it make more sense to change her to an HP? Yeah, it would, because then we can go full on HP. She's got a nice HP. She doesn't even have high attack anyways. So we just go full on HP with this champion. And they changed a few of them, right? We got Jotun, and we've got, who else was out there that's going to change to HP? The other problem with that, changing these epic champions to HP damage, is that we've seen this before, and it hasn't really worked out. Like they do this with epics, and then they dumb them down so much that the damage that they do, because she was changed to doing damage based off of HP, isn't really that much. Of course, hers is attack and HP. Theirs is going to be full on HP, so maybe it will do more. I'm talking about this guy right here. He's changed. He's going to be changed to full on HP. Now, they didn't say they were changing up his base stats. If they're not changing up his base stats, because he's got terrible attack, he's got terrible HP, really high defense, that's great. But if they don't change his base HP up, we're going to have some issues. We're going to have some real issues when all these are based off of attack. He's doing like 4-turn cooldown on this now. 50% additional damage if they have a burn up. I get it. But to me, in my eyes, it's just they didn't give us enough information. And if that's all the information, then we're going to be hurting. We're going to be really hurting on some of these champions. Now, I looked over all these champions. Again, none of them really jumped out at me to be crazy. Again, Azer, I wanted him to be good. Alika's cool. She already does a massive amount of damage. That A3 going to 1 more cooldown is fine, but still not a champion that we're really going to use a lot in places, because that turn meter, the skill pushback that she does on the A3, if they don't have any skills on cooldown, it will just push it back 1 turn, but immediately when they take their turn, it's off again. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Bushi did not need any buffs whatsoever. All they did is give him some buffs on his one attack, which is good. It's not a bad thing. It's just that even if you didn't do that for Bushi, we wouldn't care. You know, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. What they did is give him a 30% increased chance to crit and some speed, which is actually really good for him. So they did improve him. But again, it's just taking a really long time to get to these things. And then when they do it, I've already given you examples, they don't do it all the way, right? It's like half-ass stuff. Hexia looks really cool now. So I guess, yeah, maybe this guy's actually going to be a good champion now. I just feel like the rest of them, okay, the rest of them that I talked about weren't really enough. They were enough because we want something, because we need something. But since it's a big patch, we need to start seeing this happening all the time. But I do like Pitiless One. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I want to play him. I want to, but I feel like when I go to play him, I'm still going to be disappointed. But hey, any champion that can get a turn meter increase on the A1 and then a massive turn meter increase on that A2 to keep going back to it. And then again, remember, if we have those artifacts that don't reset skill cooldowns and we put it on people like this who get an insane turn meter increase, if we're fighting a lot of champions, this does not go on cooldown because of those artifacts in the bazaar. We just keep popping it. Pop it, turn after turn, and then we just keep going. So some of these champions can really take advantage of those, and that will be good. So Pitiless One does look pretty decent. But you guys let me know your thoughts below on a lot of those champions I talked about. If you've looked over the whole entire list, if you've inspected it all, let me know your thoughts on the champion. Do you think that they went far enough? Do you think that they did enough in regards to a lot of these? Or did this just look like a lot of fluff? Like they could have been doing this. I would have felt better if they did this over a 6-month period and just did 5 champions, 10 champions, and then just kept doing it. Instead of now, is it going to be another 10 months till we see some balance changes for some champions out there? Is it going to take that long? And then after that time, is it going to be just like this again? Who knows? But let me know your thoughts down below. I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys all on a video soon.